What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're going back to Metallica. Yes, indeed, Metallica Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Joel Simpson, and it was also the winner of the Premier Tier Patreon Request Prioritization Poll, winning with 54% of the vote, moving up from number 1,035 in the queue, straight up to number 1. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. They all want to see me react to this song by Metallica called 72 Seasons. Let's see if I do the math right. We've got 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. Got baseball season, football season, basketball season, hockey season, sure, why not? Golfing season, all the sporting seasons, duck hunting season, God, make sure we put that in there.
Rabbit season. Duck season. Fire.
That'll let up to 72? Maybe. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hold it, yes, I have heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Metallica, shocking, and the video has 8.1 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Metallica 72 Seasons official music video. Wah, wah, wah.
Damn it.
Yeah, there's that word official coming off of their official page. Oh boy. Look, you know what I'm going to say, so I'm not going to say it. All I'm going to say is we're going to just wait and see what happens and hope for the best. Oh, hello there. 8:38. Yeah. Well, Metallica's known for writing long songs on occasion. Yes, they are. We'll have to wait and see how this one goes, I guess. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
you could take this song and you could put it on Injustice for All and it would fit perfectly, except for one problem. One issue. The sound quality, the mix on this song blows the mix on Injustice for All completely out of the water. For that reason alone, this song would stick out like a sore thumb on that album. But from a songwriting standpoint, from a chordal progression standpoint, a rhythmic standpoint, a drive, energy, feel, tempo standpoint, yeah, this would fit on Injustice for All like a glove. I like where this is going. I love the fact that they started out with the bass with that light distortion. And boy, I mean light. Honestly, they could have made it a little heavier. They could have made the distortion just a little bit thicker. They really EQ'd the bass right for distortion on this. Kind of gave me Lemmy vibes. Kind of. Just, straight 8 notes, picking, with that light distortion. Like I said, could have been a little thicker. We could really go the Lemmy route and made it a little crunchier, just ever so slightly, but I'm glad they didn't. I like the tone that Rob has on the bass here. Those accents, those attacks coming in, all syncopated with all the other instrumentation, guitars and drums, accurate, clean, impactful every single time. I like where this is going. I really do. And I hope this trend continues through the rest of the song. Because if it does, I'm going to be very, very happy. Let's keep going here. Now we have that chunk. Tight chunking. Down, 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 down. Am I right about that rhythmic placement? Yep. Okay. I wasn't 100% sure because we've been switching gears quite a bit. Tempo's been steady. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your tempo. We've had straight time. We've had half time. We just got out of double time. Or it sounds like we're still in double time, but coming out with those accents, and this is why those accents were so impactful. We've been coasting along at that double time feel with the snare on the upbeats, not on the downbeats, on the upbeats, on the ands of 1, 2, 3, and 4. Very effective. It makes, when you do that with the snares on the upbeats, it gives the double time a little, without actually pushing the tempo, it gives the tempo an illusion of being pushed, even though it's not. If you were to, I'm serious, and a lot of people right now are going, yeah, right. Check it out. If you put the downbeats on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now watch. I can't even do it. It gives it the illusion of being pushed without actually changing the tempo. It just feels like that double time's being pushed even faster, even though it really isn't. It's a great illusion. A lot of bands have used it. They've used it in a lot of songs, and every single time it works. But the reason those accents were so impactful is because going against that double time feel, those accents had more of a straight time. Ba, 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 ba. It very, very impactful, especially since they did it all together in unison with those syncopated hits.
I like it!
I really like it. A good way to show that finality of this is the end of the phrase. Very, very nice. I'm loving everything about this. I'm digging the vocals. James's vocals on this are top tier, man. For by Metallica standards, they are top tier. The guitar playing, the bass playing, even the drumming. I know it's studio. Okay, I'm sure the engineer had a field day in Pro Tools cleaning things up, but it sounds good for the studio recording. It doesn't even sound good. It sounds great. I'm loving this. I'm loving everything I'm hearing. Let's keep going here. Upbeats again. That's straight. Hell, I like what Lars is doing with the hi-hat. I like the fact that the hi-hat's open. It's giving it a chance to resonate. It's not closed and tight. It's open. It's loose. Gives it a chance to resonate. But I can't tell if he's playing on the quarter notes or if he's playing eighth notes. I can't tell if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I mean, it could be eights. It sounds full. It's resonating well. I can't tell.
Mad seasons take their toll. New mask, chaotic, completely lost control. Shoot back, fanatic, with the run, the looming shadow cast it back. Narcotic, blinded by the ashes of the past.
I think he's playing eights. I think he is. Let me listen one more time. I think he's playing eights. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and with an open hi-hat. It sounds, but not so open that it's like rattling against itself. They're still touching. They're still in connection, but they're not tight. It's just, just kind of open, kind of loose, getting it enough to resonate. I think it's eighths.
New mask, chaotic, completely lost control. Shoot back, fanatic, with the run, the looming shadow cast it back. Narcotic, blinded by the ashes of the past.
I love those accents.
Staring into black lights. Choking on the stage fright. Wrath of man, leaching through, split in two. Wrath of man, crash into point of view. Wrath of man, violence, inheritance. Wrath of man, drive upon, feeding on 72 seasons down.
Modulation. Modulation. Where did we go from? Boom. We went from E to what? F sharp or G? Did we? Wait. Boom. Down. Did we modulate a fourth?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
From E to A? Doom. Ba. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Sure enough, we modulated a fourth from E to A. That's quite a jump. That is quite a jump. That's interesting. I'm not questioning. I want to be very clear. I'm not questioning it. I'm not disrespecting it. I think it sounds great. I do have a question, and I would love to ask. I don't know who. My guess is James wrote this. That'd be my guess. I would love to ask James, why the jump of fourth from E to A? I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious to know what his mindset was making the modulation a perfect fourth. I'm really, really curious. Because it's not something that you typically hear, especially in Metallica songs. Usually if there's a modulation, they'll modulate a full step, like E to F sharp, or maybe a third, maybe a minor third, E to G. They went all the way up to A. I'm really curious. I would love to ask James Hetfield the reason why. Again, I don't question it. I'm not mad about it. I don't think it sounds bad. I think it sounds great. I'm just curious to know, what was he thinking doing that? Because it's really cool. Anyway, let's keep going here. Okay. Back to E. I was contemplating where they might have gotten some influence for this song. Now, I don't know about everybody else. I'm sure everybody has their own opinion, and I'm sure everybody else has their own thoughts and feelings on where they might have drawn influence for this song. I have my opinion. Black Sabbath, early Sabbath, Ozzy Sabbath. Tell me the first, I would say the first 16 measures of Kirk's guitar solo. tell me that did not sound like Tony Iommi. Try to convince me that that did not sound like Tony Iommi's guitar solo style. It absolutely did. Plus the fact that, you know, soloing in A and then transitioning from A down a minor third to F sharp to do the second half of the solo. That's such a Black Sabbath thing to do. Not so much the transitioning a minor third. Lots of bands transition minor thirds going up, but not many bands do a minor third transition or modulation, do a minor third modulation going down. That's a very Black Sabbath thing to do. The whole song kind of has those early Black Sabbath vibes. I'm digging this tune. I really am. Love those accents. It's got a nice groove, got a nice vibe, great drive. The drive on this song, more than anything else, especially when they're in that double time feel. Now, don't get me wrong, the double time feel is nice. It's definitely pushing with the drive, but my favorite parts, the straight time and the half time. Those are my two favorites. I like the double time, I do, but they're not my favorite parts. My favorite parts are definitely the verse and the pre-chorus. Anyway, let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. Halftime. Yep. Love it. Permanently midnight. Halftime feel. Summertime feel. Reaching through, splitting through. Crashing through. Point of view. Violence. Inheritance. Drive upon. Feeding on 72 seasons gone. Feeding on the rubber band. I wonder if they play this song live. This song would absolutely kill the audience if they were to play this live at a show. Yeah. If they were to play this live at a show, I don't know if the crowd could handle it. I don't know if the crowd would be able to take it. This was fun. Great listen. And definitely the kind of song that I'm going to listen to again without question. A lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. I'm going to do my best to compress as much as I can, so we're not here for 30 minutes for a review. I'm going to try to compress, but ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I can promise you is I'm going to try. I make no guarantees that we're not going to be here for a while. So let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Metallica with 72 Seasons. This was a request from Joel Simpson, and it was also the winner of the Premier Tier Patreon Request Prioritization Poll, winning with 54% of the vote, moving up for number 1,035 in the queue straight up to number 1. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. Okay. I did my best to compress as much as I possibly can. And to some extent, I had some success, okay? But for those of you hoping for a short review, I got some bad news for you. That just is not gonna happen. Now, I don't know if we're gonna be here for 15 minutes. I don't know if we're gonna be here for 20 minutes. I don't know if we're gonna be here for 30 minutes. I'm not sure. But I can tell you this for certain. We ain't gonna be here less than 5, and we're more than likely not gonna be here less than 10 either. So y'all might wanna get comfortable. Y'all might wanna get something to drink, maybe something to snack on, because there's a lot to discuss. So I'm gonna start in a really weird place. I'm gonna start with the vocals. James Hetfield's vocals have always kind of run in every direction with me. There have been songs that he sang that I couldn't stand. And I've said as much. There have been songs that Metallica has, written and recorded where the vocals, I just can't stand them. And there have been songs that I've loved his vocals. Like everything he sang, I dug everything he sang. For the most part, I'm very middle ground with it. I'm not thrilled with it, but I don't hate it. I like him. I think his vocal style fits. I think his vocal style sounds good. This is one of those instances where I loved his vocals. I did. I think his vocals on this were top notch. Some great notational selection, especially in the chorus. I'm just going to come out and say it. The chorus is the hook, as it should be. The chorus should be the hook. That should be the goal when you're writing a song. Now, does that always happen? No. Everyone's going to hear songs differently. Everybody's going to be touched by songs in different ways. And some people, I'm sure, listen to this song and they said that the pre-chorus, the halftime feel, that was their hook. Okay, fine. I'm not going to argue that. I could see the argument there, and to some extent, I could agree with it. I know there are going to be people who say that the verse is going to be what hooked them. Okay, great, no problem. Some people are going to say the guitar solos are what hooked them. Fine, no problem. But I'm going to say this. The majority of people that listen to this song are more than likely going to be hooked by the chorus. That's what hooked me. Absolutely. I got no issue with that whatsoever. That's typically how it goes. When it comes to songs, I would say probably about a good 70 to 75% of the time, the chorus is the hook, at least by general public standards. And a large part of that was what James was singing. His vocals on this, the notational selection, very well done, very well thought out. Wasn't just hanging on the root the whole time. He got up there. He got up there into the above the. He went an octave above, and even above that, going to the third above as well. So has some nice range, some great power, great delivery across the board on his vocals. I got no complaints about his vocals whatsoever. Instrumentation. Everybody sounded clean. Everybody sounded tight. Love the guitar tones. Not so thick and crunchy that you couldn't hear a solid attack. If I'm being honest, they could, if they had wanted to, they could have gone a little chunkier, and I think they would have been just fine. Personally, I'm glad they didn't. I think the guitar tone on this kind of gave it a little bit of a nod to the old school rock. You have bands, that were influenced, are big influences for Metallica. In particular, Black Sabbath, which we're going to talk about more in length, in more detail a little bit later. But they could have gone thicker, they could have gone chunkier. I'm glad they didn't. I think the guitar tones they had were just fine. Rob's bass on this, I love the intro with him having that nice distortion patch. Again, same thing as the guitar. Could he have gone thicker and crunchier? I think he could have, but again, I'm glad he didn't. I was kind of getting Lemmy vibes when he was playing too with that straight eighth note pattern. I was digging that. Later on, both guitars and bass playing straight 16th note patterns very cleanly. The biggest thing for me about the instrumentation were those accents though, that down, 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 down. Going back again, I'm going to talk more about this at length later, but having that Black Sabbath influence with the notation that was selected, but not so much about the notation, more about the attack, the rhythmic pattern. that they came up with. That bow, 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 bow. Yeah, I like it. I really dig everything about that. Let's see, what else? The drumming. Let's just discuss it. Listen, it's a studio recording utilizing Pro Tools. Pro Tools is magical. I don't think for 1 second that Lars's drums were untouched. Let's be honest here. Lars is not always known for being the most solid, fundamentally solid drummer in the world, but what he played on this, I got no issue with. I love the approach he took. In particular, I know this is a weird thing, but I want to talk about the hi-hat usage for a moment here. Utilizing a open hi-hat. Now, what I mean by that is, I don't mean the hi-hat was like this. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the hi-hat was closed, but it wasn't tight closed. As a drummer, you have the hi-hat, and you can press down on the pedal for the hi-hat and create the tension and really create a super tight fit on that, and then you lock it down. And as a result, you're going to get a very tight, unresonating hit on the hi-hat. Or you can take your foot off the pedal and loosen it up, loosen up the key, and then once it's loose and everything's fine, it's still closed, then lock it down. Sure, no problem. By doing that, you're gonna get some resonation. It's gonna resonate a bit. It's gonna create its own natural reverb. It's gonna create its own natural length from a single hit. And that's what it sounds like to me. But what was really interesting, though, the fact that he was playing, I'm not 100% certain about this, but I'm like 90% certain he was playing 8 notes on that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, again, going back to Pro Tools, I'm sure Pro Tools came into play, and there was some, realignment of hits, of the actual cymbal hits. I'm sure they went in, they cleaned it up a little bit. I'm sure it wasn't 100% steady, but still, the fact that he was playing those 16th notes, that's aggressive. Not too many bands at that tempo would choose to play 8th notes at that tempo, but they did it and they pulled it off well, and it sounds great. It gives the drums a little extra fullness. And I'm usually not the biggest fan of quote unquote cymbal work, but I'm much more of a skins guy. But I gotta tip the cap. I gotta tip the cap to Lars on this one and say, dude, nice job on those 8th notes, and nice job choosing and having the courage to do those 8 notes at that speed, at that tempo, and make it sound good. Now, like I said, I'm sure Pro Tools was involved, but you can't fake the attacks. You gotta have the 16th notes. You gotta have the 8th notes played, and I believe they were. So, sounded good. Sounded really good. I got no issue with it. I like the drumming on this. The guitar solos. Okay, let's get into this. The notation, the guitar solos, the notation, the chordal progression. I'm sorry. I'm sure people are gonna have differences of opinion from my own on this. I couldn't help but notice a lot of Black Sabbath flavors being thrown into this song. For starters, the guitar solo. The first 16 mentions of that guitar solo. In A, try to convince me that did not sound like Tony Iommi's style. I'm sorry, but I could close my eyes, hear what Kirk was playing, and go, that's Tony Iommi. I know Kirk's playing it, I get it, but that is absolutely Tony Iommi's style. A lot of hammer-on and pull-offs, a lot of bends. Yep. Descending hammer-ons and pull-offs, especially. The chordal progression, especially with those accented hits, down, 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 flat 5 to 4 to flat 3 to 1. Flat 5s. Who came up with that again? Who made that kind of a signature thing in rock, in hard rock and heavy metal music? Oh yeah, Black Sabbath did. They were credited for. Now, I'm not saying in all of music. I know classical pieces utilize that flat 5 as well, the devil's tritone. But in heavy metal music, hard rock music, everybody points to Black Sabbath and saying they were the ones who came up with it and populated it, or popularized it for the purpose of hard rock and heavy metal music. All the credit goes to Black Sabbath there. So couldn't help but notice that, utilizing that flat 5 a lot in the song, especially that downward progression, flat 5 to 4 to the minor 3 to 1. With those accents, those syncopated, accented attacks. Gotta love that. Absolutely gotta love that. The energy, the drive on this song, just chugging, man. Absolutely chugging. I could see this going on at Justice for All. The modulations in particular are kind of what guided me toward finalizing my opinion that I could see this being on And Justice for All. We had 3 major modulations coming out of the main riff of the song into the guitar solo, going up to A, going up a 4th. I don't question it. I'm not mad about it. I think it sounded great, but I am curious to know what guided James to go that route. You know what I mean? What compelled him to go up a 4th? It's interesting. It's not the typical thing that you would expect from Metallica. Usually, we're talking about a modulation. We're talking about from root up a step, go to the 2, or minor 3rd. You know, that's typically what. Or if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna drop down, going on to the 5th. You know, but going to the 4th, interesting. I like it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not upset with it. I think it sounded great. I'm just curious to know. I would love to pick his brain and go, hey James, what were you thinking going to the 4th? I'm really curious to know why. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm not questioning it. I'm just saying, I'm curious to know what your mindset was. Now, we stayed there for a while, right? From the 4th, we dropped down to the 2. We go down to the F sharp, and we stayed there for a while to finish out the guitar solo. We were there for a while. And then from the F sharp, down to the root, back down to the root note again, back down to the E again. We had 3 big modulations. And that's all. We didn't overuse it. We didn't abuse it. We didn't go out there and shove it down the listener's throats. They had the 3 modulations all in one area. And they didn't, and here's the thing, they were able to walk that fine line between overusage and tastefulness. They didn't overuse it by having a whole bunch. They only modulated 3 times, and when they did modulate, they stayed there more than necessary. They stayed there more than long enough to get the listener to get back into it again. Because whenever you modulate, there's gonna be that couple of seconds where it's a little abrupt, and you have to kind of make the adjustment as a listener. You gotta go, oh wait, but where are we now? We changed notes. Okay, we're here now. Okay, cool. You know, you just had to kind of adjust and give the listener a chance to get adjusted. And they did that perfectly fine. They went on longer, actually, giving the listener a chance to really get into it. Very smart. Very smart. Better than doing a modulation over here and then 2 minutes go by, another modulation, 2 minutes go by, another modulation, another 2 minutes go by. Now they kept all the modulations within about a minute and a half in the guitar solo section. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very, very smart. This was fun. This was a great listen. I absolutely enjoyed it. I have no doubt that I'm going to listen to this again. Absolutely. This is going on all 3 playlists without question. Long drives, driving around town, gym, yes, all 3. And I just realized I haven't given my score yet. I'm sorry. Let's give that score. After saying everything I've said, I think people might know where this is, the direction this might be going.
Oh, brother!
On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that a 9.1. Yep, 9.1. You heard me. I didn't stutter. That is the score I feel this song deserves. I've already told you all the reasons why.
Why?
This was a lot of fun to listen to, and not only that, it was a very well-written song. For those of you that aren't sure what a 9.1 is, a 9.1 would mean outstanding, amazing, impressive job, and that absolutely describes this song. The execution, the songwriting, everything involved, absolutely fantastic job. It would also get 5 out of 5 stars and an A letter grade, an A. So there you go, a 9.1, outstanding, amazing, impressive job, 5 out of 5 stars and an A letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I can do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.